Righty. Different camera, different position. Oh well, deal with it. It's a story, it ain't the setting. Alright. That many vehicles could easily hold over 100 men, and they'd be at the bridge in less than a minute. Mark wondered if they were too late. Whatever he was going to do, he had to do it now. He turned and looked at his team. He didn't see how such a group would be able to stop a determined group of 100 men. The only advantage he had was the hand grenades. And an AK. He grabbed a couple out of the box Ralph was holding. I need someone to help me take out the bridge with these, Mark said as if it was some menial task. I'll do it, Alex said. All right, Mark continued. Grab a couple. Manny, take half of these guys and go to the opposite side of the house and cover us. Ralph, you stay here with the other half and do the same. We'll try to take out the bridge and turn these bastards around before they can cross. Manny and Ralph only nodded their affirmation of the order. Mark looked at Alex. Let's go. Mark, though his estimation of the young man had just gone up a couple of notches, wasn't thrilled with Alex being his backup. The boy had almost no training for this kind of thing, but he was the only person in the group who could keep up with Mark. In fact, as they raced into position to hurl the grenades at the wooden MGB crossing, Mark was surprised that he was the one struggling to keep up. When they reached the halfway between the house and the trench, Mark figured they were in range, and he stopped. Alex, who was a step ahead, continued to run. Alex, Mark hissed as he found the pin ring on his first grenade. The youngster didn't hear him. Alex, he called a little louder. His daughter's boyfriend raced on, now fully 4 or 5 yards in front of his team leader. Alex, Mark barked at the youth. The young man stopped on a dime and turned toward Mark with an inquisitive look on his face. Now, Mark told him. Mark had already pulled his pin and was just waiting for Alex to stop before he threw the first grenade. He tossed it in a high arc, hoping it would land dead center of the bridge. Mark reached into his pocket for his second grenade. He saw that Alex was groping for the pin on his grenade when he saw the muzzle flashes from next to the bridge. The men in the ditch had probably heard him yelling at Alex, and now they were shooting at the two of them. He heard the shots whistle by, and a few seconds later heard return fire from behind him. He hoped the covering fire would give him and Alex enough time to finish their mission and get back to the safety of cover. Mark saw the young man in front of him start his throwing motion. At that instant, a red spot appeared on Alex's back, and the grenade dribbled from his hand as he fell forward onto the pavement. Mark knew he had a couple of seconds before the grenade went off, and he pulled the pin and sailed his second frag toward the bridge. As it made its way, the first grenade Mark had thrown exploded. He had evidently missed the bridge by a few feet to the right. Mark could see the bridge was still standing. He hit the pavement and waited for Alex's M67 to go off. It seemed to take forever. At least the firing from the trench had stopped, he noticed. The frag finally exploded, and Mark felt a searing pain in his left hip. His hand instinctively went down to the injury, and he felt that it was warm and sticky. He wondered how bad it was and tested his legs. They seemed okay, so he got to his feet to run to where Alex lay. His left leg didn't want to work quite right, but he limped as quickly as he could to the fallen defender. Mark could see the young man was dead. He knelt down and checked for a pulse. There was none. If the bullet hadn't killed Alex instantly, the grenade certainly had. Mark was saddened by the loss. He wondered how Samantha would take the news. At least the young man had gone out a hero. Mark's second grenade detonated, snapping him back to reality. He looked to see what had happened and was terrified at the results. The explosive had landed on the bridge and gone off, but somehow it was still standing. Either it was constructed much more sturdily than he'd thought, or the frags weren't very effective on wooden targets.